Everybody has that slightly annoying neighbor with their huge Toyota Alphard or Vellfire. I tell you what, this is the new Hyundai Staria Premium, and with one of these, they're not going to be so annoying anymore. Now, we've been given an exclusive preview of the new Hyundai Staria, Hyundai's new premium MPV. There's only 7 seats in here, and as you can see, it looks like it's out of this world. You have this positioning light here, which goes all the way across. You have the LED headlights and indicators down here as part of this enormous grille, which again looks absolutely insane. Going down the sides, you'll realize there's not any hard lines on this car at all. It's meant to just have a single curved design, and it looks very organic. You've probably noticed that the window line in this car is actually lower than it would be on most passenger vehicles, and this is to provide a better view out. You also have twin power doors, but we'll get to that in a second. You have 18-inch alloy wheels, dual tone, and at the back you have this absolutely expansive tailgate with this enormous rear screen. I apologize for the plane because we are right next to Subang Airport, and you have these tail lights which are referred to as parametric pixel design. They are full LED with the indicators, the fog lights and the reverse lights all integrated into there. You also have the Staria logo built into this glass tailgate. This is a power tailgate, so with a touch of a button here, obviously, sorry, I haven't done this in a while, this enormous barn door opens to reveal the interior space. Now, the third row is currently in its most furthest back position, where you have 117 litres of space, but of course all of these seats can be moved forward individually depending on your own individual needs. Hello! Unfortunately, we are not the only ones on this shoot today, so we have to cooperate a bit, so I'm going to close this so I don't bother Hanif, who is shooting inside. You want to check out his video? Go to kareta.my. Now, going back to the Staria as a whole, this is a much more premium vehicle compared to the Hyundai Starex. It still runs on the same 2.2 litre CRDI turbo diesel paired to an 8-speed automatic gearbox, sending power to the front wheels. Now, the power outputs, which I cannot remember, but my video editor will now put at the bottom of the screen, is actually slightly lower than what you get from the Hyundai Santa Fe. However, Hyundai says that this engine has been down-tuned in order to provide a more comfortable and more reasonable driving experience, which we'll get to in a moment. We'll also talk about the interior in just a second, but for right now we're going to let my colleagues continue their walkarounds of this car and not bogart the Staria so much. So now we're driving the Hyundai Staria. Now, it's a very short preview drive, so there isn't really that much that I'll be able to tell you. Now, I was able to sit in the rearmost row as well as the second row, and I have to say that this is a pretty refined thing. Now, of course, being an MPV, there is going to be a decent amount of road roar and wind noise. That's kind of unavoidable, but as far as I'm concerned, it seems a little bit lower than what you'd expect within this segment, so it's still a very impressive thing overall. Now, in terms of the driving experience, as you're sat in the driver's seat, you look around, you have an excellent view all the way around. You've got big mirrors on either side and a pretty decent rear view mirror as well. But for what it's worth, you can't really escape the fact that this is a very large car. There is no shrinking effect that you might get in other MPVs or in fact large SUVs for that matter. This car definitely feels its size, but you can still drive it quite easily as a car. It helps that you have Hyundai's full suite of advanced driver assist features. You also have things like the lane cameras, for example, so every time you indicate left or right, it will show you what's in your blind spot, in addition to having the blind spot monitor on the mirrors themselves. So it's not an overtly challenging thing to drive. It certainly feels a lot more refined, a lot more mature compared to, say, the Hyundai Starex, which in my walk around earlier I said this car would replace. As it turns out that this car will be sold alongside the Starex, and it's a different product. Now, like I said, it feels like a more mature product, it feels like a more mature kind of vehicle compared to the Starex, and that definitely befits the price. Now, the big question is it refined enough? Is it mature enough to go against segment stalwarts like the Toyota Vellfire, the Toyota Alphard. Now that remains to be seen. That is something that we'll only find out in time, I feel. But as an overall product, objectively, I feel like this definitely presents itself very differently from the Japanese MPV competitors. But whether or not it'll catch on, we don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Now that we're alone, viewers, there are a few things that I want to say. I've driven the Staria Premium just a little bit, as you saw earlier, and it must be said that the powertrain with its turbo diesel, it feels a lot more punchier than the atmospheric engines that you get from the Toyota Alphard and Vellfire, that's for sure, even compared to the 3.5 litre V6. The 8-speed automatic gearbox always puts you in the right ratio and is very ready to kick down when necessary. There is a little bit of a turbo lag as expected with a big diesel engine, but you know what? This is a van, it's not a sports car, so you really ought to be driving it as such anyway. Now, the Staria Premium is definitely a premium machine. At the price that it is expected to command, we certainly think that it will not be a volume seller for Hyundai, but it will most certainly be a very interesting entrant into the luxury MPV class. Will they sell a lot of them? We don't know. We certainly hope that they do, because these certainly look a lot better than what we normally see from the Japanese competitors. Are we excited to see it here? Definitely. Are we excited at how this signals the future for mobility from Hyundai? Definitely. Do we want to test drive it? Hell yes. But we'll have to keep our fingers crossed in the hopes that we'll be able to get one sometime soon. In any case, that has been our quick preview of the new Hyundai Staria. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell icon so you're notified every time we make a new upload. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. All the links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Take care, stay safe, jangan bodoh.